If someone you know is always sick, long COVID, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, or some other mysterious long-term illness, and you sometimes think, are they really that sick? I mean, why don't they just get better? It's understandable because most people think that, even if they don't say it out loud. But here's the problem. Those thoughts come from beliefs that aren't true. And even if you mean well, believing them can do a lot of damage to the person you care about. So in this video, I want to say what your sick friend, partner, coworker, or loved one wishes they could say to you before the relationship fades for good. And it will put to bed some of the confusion or frustration you've been feeling so you can both feel better. Because I've been on both sides of this, and I know how painful it is when people don't understand, but also how much healing can happen when they finally do. I've had chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia for over a decade, and I've lost friends and even family because they didn't understand, and because they believed things that made it harder for me to heal. So I'm Rachel, and this channel is for what I call evolutionaries, people who care deeply, feel everything, and still want to help make things better. And in this video, you'll learn the 8 most common misbeliefs about chronic illness, especially the ones no one says out loud, but almost everyone thinks, what actually causes most chronic illness in simple, clear terms, and 2 easy ways you can help, even if your own life is full, which it probably is. And if you're the one who's sick, send this video to someone who doesn't get it. I'll say the thing that you've been too exhausted or too afraid to say. Oh, and if you want to play chronic illness bingo, as I go through the 8 misbeliefs, check off the ones you've heard before. So let's look at 8 of the most common misbeliefs about chronic illness and why they're not actually true. Misbelief number 1. They're just tired like everyone else. Look, everyone is tired. We live in a burnt out world. But chronic illness isn't tired. It's not fixed by a nap or a weekend away or just pushing through. It's like this. You plug your phone in overnight and wake up to find it's still at 3%. Having chronic illness is like being an old iPhone. Our batteries die halfway through the day no matter what you do. And then there's other people saying, well, I'm tired too. I just get on with it. And they're rocking the brand new iPhone Max Pro blah blah with the 98% charge. So no, we're not dealing with the same thing. Your battery works. Ours is cracked, swollen, and maybe catching fire. Misbelief number 2. They're not as good as I am. You might not say it out loud, but deep down, you might believe they're just not as tough, disciplined, or smart as I am. But here's the truth. Most of us with chronic illness were the ones who never stopped. Overachievers, perfectionists, the dependable ones. We pushed through long after the warning lights were flashing, until one day the system broke. You're not healthier because you're better. You're healthier because you didn't break. Yet. Misbelief number 3. It's a mystery why they're sick. It's not. It's just a truth we don't want to face. Because most chronic illness is what happens when bodies go without what they need for years. It's like being a house. Some people are born with solid foundations, good genes, a stable home, money. Others, cracked beams, rain through the roof. Then life piles on trauma, poverty, burnout, pressure, and eventually something gives. And instead of saying, this person is sick because society failed them, doctors say, it's probably just stress or hormones or in their head. But you don't fix a collapsing house with positive thinking. You rebuild the foundation. Misbelief number 4. They'll be fine without me. I don't need to check in. Pulling away quietly can hurt more than you think. You care, you hope they'll get better, but if you're honest, you don't really want the details. It's heavy, it's awkward. So, you change the subject, ghost a little. And your sick person, they notice. They stop sharing, start pretending until one day they disappear. Not because they're better, but because they feel like a burden. People with chronic illness are twice as likely to attempt suicide. With conditions like fibromyalgia, it's up to 36 times higher. And the number one reason they give? I feel like no one cares. You don't have to fix it. You don't even have to understand it all. But if you want your person to stay in your life, ask how they're really doing and listen like it matters. Okay, I've just told you what we wish you understood, but let's flip it. What's one thing you wish we, the ones who are sick, understood about your side? What are we maybe assuming that's not fair? What are we missing because we're stuck in survival mode? Tell me in the comments and I'll read every one and maybe make a follow-up video about it. Because real understanding goes both ways and I want to be part of that. Misbelief number 5. They must have made bad choices. Thank God I didn't. It's not about bad choices. Maybe you've thought, that won't happen to me. I eat better, I exercise, I manage my stress. The subtext? They must have done something wrong. I'm doing something right. And it's a comforting thought. It gives you control, but it's not true. Most chronic illness doesn't come from laziness or poor choices. It comes from long-term stress, from trauma, neglect, poverty, and no backup when things fall apart. Misbelief number 6, they're exaggerating. It can't be that bad. We're not exaggerating, we're downplaying. You wonder, even if you don't say it, it can't really be that bad, can it? Because, they look okay. They were laughing yesterday. They showed up to that thing. But here's what you're seeing. The performance. The one we put on so we don't scare you off. We smile. We say, we're fine. We leave out the parts that would make you uncomfortable. We've learned what happens when we tell the truth. People vanish. So we protect you and you never see the fire. Misbelief number 7. They'd be better by now if they just tried, insert tip here. We've tried it, all of it. Maybe you heard of someone who got better with exercise, gratitude, or celery juice. So you suggest it with good intentions. But here's the thing. We've tried CBT, antidepressants, positive thinking, volunteering, journaling, fasting, praying. If effort alone could fix this, we'd be Olympic gold medalists in trying. Healing isn't about trying harder. It's about safety, time, and let's be honest, money. And most of us don't have enough of any of those. Misbelief number 8. They're just not as tough as the rest of us. We're not weak. We're surviving the impossible. Imagine having the flu. Then imagine getting hit with a baseball bat. Then imagine waking up and doing it again every day for years. That's what chronic illness feels like. What you're seeing now, that's not weakness. That's endurance. Maybe you're still wondering, this makes no sense. Why would their body be doing all of this? And it's a fair question, so let me break it down as simply and clearly as I can. And if you're short on time or just want to know how to help, skip to the timestamp below on how to help. I'll still admire you for sticking with me this far. Your sick friend probably will too. But for those who want to understand, here's what's actually going on. Imagine your body has a smoke detector in every room. That's your nervous system, built to sense danger and keep you safe. Now, imagine those smoke detectors have been going off for years because your body kept whispering, I'm not okay. And no one, not even you, was allowed to listen. So it screamed louder until the whole house was just flashing lights and sirens day after day. And that's what chronic illness often is. Not laziness or drama, it's your body pulling the fire alarm, desperate for rest, for safety, for care. But even if your alarm system's blaring, you still have to keep going, right? And that's where things get even harder. Some people are driving through life in a car that works. Solid frame, smooth engine, roadside assistance if it breaks down. Others, we're in what native folks sometimes call a res car. A car that's held together with duct tape and hope, missing parts, burning oil, and still expected to keep up. We've pushed it when it wouldn't start, driven with the check engine light on for years. But eventually, even a res car gives out. Not because it's weak, but because it was never given what it needed to go the distance. The people this happens to, they're often the ones who cared the most. The ones who showed up, stayed late, held it together. The perfectionists, the people pleasers, and the overachievers. The ones who never felt it was safe to stop. We ran too hard for too long with no real support. And when the body finally collapsed, everyone acted surprised. But it was never random. It was predictable. That's the truth your sick friend might be too tired to explain. So I'm saying it for them. So what do you do now? Here's the simplest version. Number one, if you're overwhelmed and don't have anything to give, just acknowledge that. Stop judging the person who's sick. They didn't fail. They didn't take the easy way out. They got buried under a life no human was built to survive alone. If all you do is hold that truth, it's already a gift. If you've got a little more to give, ask this: how can I help you right now? That's it. And if they give you a long, overwhelming list of things they wish were different, say, I wish I could fix all of this. I really do, but I can't. But what I can do is help you figure out how to get there, or maybe even fix one small thing. That's how we change someone's world. Not by solving everything, but by showing up without judgment and making it safe for them to hope again. If you're still here, thank you. You didn't have to stay. This was probably hard to hear, but you stuck with it. And that tells me something about you. You care. You have courage, the kind we all need more of right now. People don't get better from chronic illness just because they tried hard enough. They get better when enough people care, when the judgment stops and the help begins. So if you've got someone in your life who's sick and you don't know what to say or how to help, start here. Share this. And if you're the one who's sick and tired of doing this alone, come join me. I'm building a community called Evolutionaries United for people healing from chronic illness and trauma who still believe in creating a better world. The waitlist is open in the links below. But overall, this is how things get better. One act of care, one moment of truth, one person at a time. And maybe that starts with you. Thanks, and see you soon.